Hi everyone, so I'm here today for a new video. Today's video is going to be super interesting because it's about movies, TV shows, and documentaries basically. So I really enjoy watching TV shows, movies, and etc. I don't watch movies a lot, to be honest. I don't watch them as much as I used to, but today I did kind of like some favorites that I want to talk to you about. So I don't really have like a favorite show, a favorite movie, or like a favorite song. Like I don't really have favorites in general. So yeah, I hope you will enjoy. I hope you'll discover new things you haven't heard about. Don't hesitate to let me know also in the comments if you know any of the good stuff I'm gonna mention. And yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard. The thing I'm a bit weird about is like telling you what each of the TV show and everything is about without like giving any spoilers. So I'm gonna try to do my best, and let's start. Also, there's no order. Okay, so I looked it up. I'm gonna start with a documentary web television series. So I guess it's a mix between a series and a documentary. And the name of it is Diagnosis. So it was released really recently. I personally watched it on Netflix. And so yeah, I didn't watch it that long ago. And honestly, I watched it like almost in one go. There's several episodes in the series, and each episode is focused on a different person. So basically, in the series, we follow a doctor called Lisa Sanders, and she is really interested in discovering or helping, I guess is the word, patients or just people who have illnesses which are unknown. So people who don't know what their illness is. So people who have specific symptoms, and are trying to seek help, but unfortunately cannot seek the help they need. So they go see doctors, and doctors don't really know what they have, or doctors, suspect it might be a disease, but they're not sure. So basically, they're always in the unknown. The series really revolves around those mystery cases. Basically, how she does it, so she go well. We see patients and the interactions they had with different doctors. And if I'm not wrong, Dr. Sanders publishes an article for each patient on the New York Times magazine, sorry. And that helps because doing that, basically her goal is to seek help from people all over the world who are not necessarily doctors. So when she writes those articles, she really tries to find help from the crowd. That's how they call it in the TV show, in the series. So the crowd basically could be people from anywhere, and the people that can answer can be doctors, so doctors who are specialized in particular types of disease, or it could be patients or other patients who realize that they have similar symptoms to the person Dr. Sanders describes. So basically, Dr. Sanders in her article, she describes like, oh, I know a patient who have these illnesses, can you help these symptoms, can you help me know what it is? And doing so, it's kind of like a mystery, it's like a puzzle, and with the help of many people, then they try to resolve this mystery disease that someone has, and it's really, really interesting. Next, I'm going to talk about a nature documentary series called Our Planet, so you might have heard about it. It's really focused on nature, and in each episode, they focus on a different part of our planet. So for example, in one episode they're going to really focus on the deep sea, in another episode they're going to focus on jungles, in another episode they're going to focus on deserts. So it's really interesting because on each episode you really kind of have a sense of the different biomes that are in this earth, and you can see different species of animals, different interactions between the animals. And really sometimes when you look at this documentary, I don't know, like I feel like I learned so much and so many things. I'm like, wow, I never realized like animals would do that, like things you never thought about. Like some stories about some insects, I'm just like, wow, I didn't know insects did all those things. Like there's so many ways that they explain to you how, yeah, like insects evolve through life that you just didn't know. and so it's super interesting to watch, and you do learn a lot. But it also touches a lot on climate change and how climate change changed the lives of those animals. So we heard every day how climate change has impacts on the earth populations, but in that TV show, like in that documentary, really sometimes like they give specific examples, and I was like, so specific examples that I again never thought of. So it really is an interesting documentary that I would recommend to anyone. And the shots, the pictures, I mean the videos, like the images are just so pretty, and it's so well filmed. And I don't know, I didn't know before watching that documentary that I really liked watching nature documentaries, but just the way it's filmed makes you really like so focused, and you're really listening at what's happening. So I would really recommend this. Next, we're going with a TV show. So this TV show I discovered, well, I had heard about it for quite a long time, but I had never watched it. So I can tell you that I know a lot of people that really like it and would recommend it. But it's Vikings. So Vikings, I think there are 5 seasons. Yeah, so basically, I watched everything that you can watch, but there are still some episodes that have to be released. I think this year in 2020. So it's almost the end of the show. I think season 5 is the last season, and yeah, I'm almost done with it, unfortunately. But yeah, I discovered it because, well, like I said, I had heard about it before, but I started watching it because my boyfriend really likes it, so he rewatched it with me, and this show is just so great. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like harsh with TV shows, but I just don't have favorite TV shows. Like, I just always stop in the middle, or I don't know, something happens. But like this TV show is just so interesting for so many reasons. First of all, because it's really I forgot the word. It's based. I forgot the word based. Anyways, it's based on real events, or it's really based on history. So you do learn a lot about Vikings and more, but I'm not gonna give any spoilers. And just the characters, like the cast, like the characters. I don't know. They're just so they have so much personality, and they bring so much to the show, and each characters are different, and the characters are not black and white, like they have perfections, but they also have imperfections, which make them super interesting. And yeah, there's so much action, there's so much stories that you can follow, like basically there's so much happening, and you kind of never can tell what's gonna happen next. I kind of like those TV shows with suspense. I don't really like when I already know in advance what's gonna happen. That is really not the case with this TV show. So I'm not gonna say much more because, well, then I will give spoilers. I just can say that I would recommend it to anyone, to be honest. And also, it's not too long. That's a point I like. Like 5 seasons for me is a good amount. Like sometimes, when there's like 8 seasons, 10, 12, 15, I don't know. 15 is a lot. Like I don't like you get kind of bored, and you kind of feel like it's repetitive. Next, I'm gonna talk about a very specific episode of TV show again. So you probably all heard of Black Mirror. To be honest, I haven't watched all the episodes of Black Mirror, so now I'm not gonna talk about Black Mirror. I'm just gonna mention one specific episode. So I started watching Black Mirror a while back. I don't remember when, to be honest. And Black Mirror, if you haven't tried it, is a very strange TV show in the sense that it's super interesting. It's very interesting. It's very different from at least what I'm used to watch. But it really makes you think, and like I like when you watch TV shows or movies, etc., that they really have an impact on you, whether it makes you think, or it makes you have like thrills, or it makes you sad, happy, I don't know, whatever. And Black Mirror, it just gives you that emotion that a few movies and TV shows give you. Like after I finish watching an episode of Black Mirror, I'm always like, I don't know, feeling uncomfortable, and I think that's good. I'm gonna mention one specific episode, which is called White Bear, and it is in season 2. So to be honest, I've watched this episode a while back, so I don't remember it that well. And I'm not gonna talk about it because the reason I liked it so much, it's because the ending was just like so unexpected. I remember watching it and be like, wow, I didn't expect that at all. So that's why I'm not gonna talk about it, because I just want you to see it and without having any information, you know. So maybe I'm not selling it very well. I'm not trying to sell it, but just you have no information, so it might be hard for you to decide to watch it. But yeah, it is a episode that, to be honest, I've watched it, like I said, quite a while back, so I don't remember a lot what it talks about, but I remember that it really like it really surprised me, and to this day I still remember it. Like, it's one of the few like, it's not the few, but it's one of the episodes in Black Mirror which I really remember and would really recommend. So that's what I'm doing right now. To end this video, I'm gonna talk about a movie that is, again, just like so creative. I have my computer to help me. So Parasite was released in 2019. It's a South Korean black comedy thriller film. That's exactly how I would describe it. So personally, I went to watch it this summer. So it's been a little bit, well, not that, it's been a few months since I watched it. And I watched it with French subtitles. And the movie is, again, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to give spoilers, but it's just, I've never seen a movie like this. And maybe at this point you understood that for me, really good movies or TV shows are ones that you just that just leave something in you, so make you really go through like specific emotions, and ones which you cannot predict the ending. And I definitely could not predict the ending of Parasite. It was just so like so different from what I was used to see. I really went out of it, and I went to see it with my mom, and I remember telling her, like, this is definitely one of my favorite movies. It's a black comedy thriller, I think it said. And really, that's how I saw it. Like, sometimes it was like comedy, it was like funny, chill, and then the next moment it's like completely thriller and almost like scary, not scary, but like weirdish, and you're just like, what happened? And it's just, I had never seen a movie that changed genre like this so much. And yeah, it takes place in one environment. Well, they move a bit, the characters, but it takes place in one house mainly, and it's just so mind-blowing. So really, I would recommend seeing it if you haven't. And it also won several prizes. So I think it's again in the cinema at this time. It does say on Wikipedia that it was presented at the Festival de Cannes in 2019, where it did win La Palme d'Or, and now I can see that it's in the cinema again. So that is it with this video. I hope it was interesting. It was kind of hard for me to like really, make you want to watch them, sorry, without like giving you too many spoilers. So I hope you still it still made you want to watch some of them. But yeah, let me know again, in the comments if you've watched any, because I would really like to hear your opinions about them. And I'll see you next time. Bye.